Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you my each way Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing here in the UK. Well, pretty good day today. We had a great double. Today we had Daawy at Newmarket in the Nelgwyn Stakes. That came in for us at 12 to 1. Frankie Dettori on board there in the John Gosden combination. That was the 7th time Frankie Dettori's ever won that race. So that's a pretty remarkable stat really, but it was a really good race from Frankie. He always had the horse in contention right from the off, and when it mattered most towards the last couple of furlongs, he brought the horse home for a good win. So that was really good today. We also had Iora Glass at Cheltenham in the 4:25. Good ride by Paddy Brennan there. The handicapper, you can really tell, gave that horse a chance to run a good race, as I think, as we mentioned yesterday, that it had been knocked down by about £6 or £7. So yeah, that was a really good result for us. When I backed it, that was currently 14 to 1. It came in at 8 to 1 in the end, but that's still a good double. Other horses that ran were Millicent Silver, which never really featured in the race, but it probably needed the better ground for that horse, more softer it prefers. And also the other horse that we backed was Casper King. To be fair, the horse, it was in contention, and I think it came back in 4th place, so that wasn't a great selection there. But we had a great double today, and not many people will be backing combinations like that. So a 14 and a 12 to 1 double there was really good. But I'm going to be moving on for tomorrow's horse racing action now. Again, tomorrow will be some good racing going on. We've got day 2 of this Cheltenham meeting going on. We also got another day's racing at Newmarket as part of the Craven meeting. So plenty of good horse racing action on tomorrow. And let's get stuck in. Our first selection we're going to pick for tomorrow's horse racing action runs in the 3:15 at Cheltenham. And this horse is called Indian Steam, which is trained by Neil Mulholland and will be ridden by Noel Feely, who we like here on this channel. This horse is currently around 5 to 1 in the market, and this race tomorrow is a Class 1 hurdle. The last time this horse ran, Indian Steam, was actually at Cheltenham in the Mayor's Hurdle in the festival, and it came fourth in that race to 3 really good horses, which was Apple's Jade, which won the race. It also finished behind Vroom Vroom Mag and Limony, and it was only beaten by a couple of lengths in that race. So this horse, Indian Steam, ran a really good race, and even though the handicapper has put it up slightly, a few pounds for that race, it definitely seems to justify the class this horse has got. So Indian Steam, who's we're going for tomorrow, it's currently 5 to 1 with most bookmakers at the moment, and that's who we're going to back there. Our second horse tomorrow night, each way Lucky 15, sees us go to the 4:45 at Newmarket with a horse called Daawy. Now this horse is going to be making its racecourse debut tomorrow. It's a horse trained by William Haggis, and this horse will be ridden by our favourite jockey at the moment, the man of the moment, which is Frankie Dettori. We've backed a couple of winners of his the last couple of days, and he's come good for us, so that's good. But this horse is definitely interesting. This stable tends to do well in these kind of races, as the race it will be running in tomorrow is a maiden. The other horses are running with in this race of a similar background, really. They haven't raced before, or they've only got 1 or 2 notches under their belt. So I think this horse Daawy, with all especially the Frankie Dettori at the moment being the man at the moment, and currently he's 10 to 1 in the market, which you think that he had a winner earlier that was a John Gosden horse today that was another maiden, and Frankie Dettori tends to get the most out of these horses on their first go. So I think that for the value in that, he's definitely worth an each way chance. So that's who we're going for tomorrow, Daawy in the 4:45 at Newmarket. Our third pick tomorrow in our each way Lucky 15 sees us go to the next race at Newmarket, which is the 5:20 with a horse called Shamrokh. And this horse, Shamrokh, is trained by John Gosden and will be ridden again by Frankie Dettori. You're probably just going to be thinking he just picked Frankie Dettori winners, but as I say, he's the man of the moment. And when jockeys are in red hot form, sometimes you've got to look at the jockey. Sometimes, like even if the horse hasn't been running amazing, if a jockey can get the most out of a horse, then it's definitely worth sometimes backing them just from that angle. But this combination had a really good day today, John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. I think they might have had a treble actually on the card at Newmarket today. So that was really good. And I'm backing this horse to do well again tomorrow. This horse currently is around 11 to 1 in the market, and it's never raced on the turf before, and it's been making its first season for John Gosden on the all-weather the last few months. And even though it's had one or two good runs under its belt, I think it won one of those runs. It was a bit disappointing last time out at Chelmsford, but this horse tomorrow will be making its turf debut, and John Gosden seems to pick the right races for his horses. And even though it looks like it might be the horses, the horse might be the second string to the John Gosden stables, I think the race in this race, the other John Gosden horse is the favourite. But I think this horse, with a little bit of experience under its belt already, and the great man on board that is Frankie Dettori, I think this horse could also come good for us tomorrow. He's currently 11 to 1 in the market with most bookmakers, so that was Shamrokh. Our last pick tomorrow in our Each Way Lucky 15 sees us go to the evening jumps fixture, which is at Taunton. Now, the horse I'm backing here, we actually did back a few weeks ago on the channel, and this horse is called Peppay Pugh. This horse is currently 5 to 1 in the market, and the reason I'm backing this horse is because I actually have backed it quite a few times, and even though it hasn't won yet, I believe that this horse is just around the corner from getting a win, because last time it finished second in a race at Uttoxeter, and it was leading really well for a lot of that race and travelling really well, but he just didn't quite have enough in his locker that day, and he did get beaten by a slightly better horse. But again tomorrow he's going to be running off the same mark that he was in that race, and before that race at Uttoxeter he'd been absolutely plummeting through the handicap marks. He was rated in the early 100s, and now he's off a mark of 94, and he'll be off the same again tomorrow. So I definitely think this horse has he's going to have to win a race sooner or later. With Adrian Heskin on board tomorrow, who's a good jockey. He's had a great season, and he's had a few good rides over the last couple of weeks, and back amongst the winners. I think Peppay Le Pew's definitely got to be at least within the each way chance. But I just think that tomorrow, with the trip being his kind of trip, the 2 miles, not further, this horse Peppay Le Pew hopefully will get his first win tomorrow. But probably won't now, because we've probably had our good patch, a couple of doubles back to back, which we haven't had on the channel before. So that's good, but probably our luck will dry out at some point. But that's going to be my selections for tomorrow's horse racing. If you've got any predictions for tomorrow, or you had any winners today, leave those comments in the comments box below. Gamble responsibly. If you want more Lucky Loaders 15 predictions, subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll see you soon.